I'm Sharice. I'm the Vice President of Education, and I am one of the officers here as well. Oh, my camera's not on. I'll be back soon. Nice to meet everybody.
All right, thank you. And then Sabrina is the person that Elizabeth is trying to locate. So are you here, Sabrina?
I am now recording, and I was able to get a hold of her.
Oh, okay,
Cedric,
cool.
let's see if you can share your screen. I can share my screen now.
Okay.
See, can you?
I cannot. It requires the host to enable me.
Okay. Cedric, can you take over again? I need to try to get another member into the room. She's not able to log in.
Okay, all right. So just as Elizabeth is running through trying to get our setup established here, welcome again to Greenway Plaza Toastmasters. As a new VP of membership, I'll just tell you this: we're driving to increase our club membership here. Our club is roughly 1 year old, and we are considered presidential status in the context of Toastmasters. So we really appreciate you all joining. Every week we'll have an agenda available so that you can go on the Greenway Plaza .toastmastersclub.org where you signed up and be able to actually see what the agenda is. It's pretty consistent week to week, and we really try to stick to the time frames. But unfortunately today we are having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Relative to what we have on the agenda, as the Toastmaster, we're going to introduce the roles momentarily here, and then we'll jump into our first speaker, which is Elizabeth, who's on the phone you've heard. And then we have a second speaker, which is going to be Amrita. Thank you, Amrita, for signing up to be a second speaker. And your evaluator is on the way. I'm assuming that's who Elizabeth is trying to get into the meeting here. And please do, if you haven't seen my email, send your evaluation form over to Letitia. And then we'll hit table topics if we can get someone to sign up for that role. As a guest, we do welcome you to sign up for roles. Don't feel like you have to know everything. We will certainly try to walk you through it. And as we're going through this meeting, do follow the chat function in here, because we'll post things from time to time just to make sure that everyone is on board with where we are. And I've just posted the link to the Greenway Plaza website, so you guys can take a look there at the agenda. All right, so without further ado, Elizabeth, it's back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cook. I would like to just go ahead and welcome our guests, and I see Dustin Lane. Would you like to say hello?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear you.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, yeah, my name's Dustin Lane. I'm with Rossi Office Systems here in Greenway. Was encouraged to join y'all from Brent Watts, and just excited to learn more and develop professionally. So just really excited to be a part of this group.
Great. Well, welcome. We're happy you're here as our guest. I see our mentor, Mary Craney, is here. Hello, Mary.
Hello, how you doing?
We're great. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very happy to be here today with all of you. I wasn't able to attend last week, but here I am.
Welcome. It's nice to hear your voice again. Without further ado, I am going to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, Cedric.
Elizabeth, I want to call a point of order to one thing here. We have a guest, Mr. Nashawn Edwards, was invited by myself. So Nashawn, if you could just jump off of mute for a brief moment and say hello to the group.
I'm sorry, I did not see his face. Okay. We have one more guest, Nashawn. Welcome.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Yes.
And can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Nashawn Edwards Sr. I'm originally from Beaumont, Texas. but I live in Houston now. I am a director of constituent services for Councilwoman Tiffany D. Thomas, and I look forward to this experience. I've always heard about Toastmasters, but I have never experienced Toastmasters. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to a great 55 minutes of development.
Excellent. Welcome, fellow Texan and now Houstonian, Nashon. Welcome. Without further ado, Cedric, the
All
meeting
right,
is
thank
turned
you.
over to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate everyone, and guests again, welcome, welcome. So as the role of Toastmaster, I'm responsible for mostly moderating this forum. I'd like to introduce to you all our theme for this week. It's also located at the top of the banner here for the agenda. And our theme for this meeting is honoring our guest day. We are so honored that you guys have decided to take time out of your busy schedules to be here with us. And we look forward to you all being able to continue your participation. At some point after or during this meeting, we will give you some more time to speak. We want to really understand, what your goals are and get some more feedback from you regarding your participation. Because like I said earlier, we're intending to grow this club in a way that has a bunch of highly motivated individuals that want to really improve their ability to speak and learn and improve their ability for leadership. So thank you. With regards to our roles for today, we have the AHA counter. The AHA counter is going to be Fernando, I believe. And Fernando is responsible for counting the ahs, ums, and other verbal pauses that occur, unnecessary verbal pauses. Can you guys see my screen okay? Oh, great, okay. And hey, Leticia, I did not see you join. I'm looking at my screen. So the other role for today is the grammarian. Do we have a grammarian assigned? Was there anyone interested in being the grammarian for today?
Cedric, I can be the grammarian for today. This is Mary Craney.
Thank you so much, Mary.
We do need to get on with the meeting because it's already 12:13 and we have two speakers.
Absolutely. And our next role for today is our next role for today will be let me just say this. I think we have all of our roles filled at this point. So, yeah. So the timer will be Sharice and the general evaluator will be Sharice. So all of our roles are now filled. So our first speaker for today is Mrs. Elizabeth Ruiz. And Elizabeth is going to be presenting on how to keep track of your pathway levels. Her speech is intended to be focused on managing a difficult audience, and it's going to take roughly 10 to 15 minutes, Madam Counter. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Elizabeth, or let Elizabeth have the floor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cook. Who here is in Pathways? Raise your hand. Excellent, excellent. For those who are our guests, Pathways is part of our Toastmasters program. Part of your fee, which is $45 plus $20 as a new member, it's $65 total. It grants you access into our Toastmasters Club, as well as participating in an education program that is 100% virtually online. You go at your own speed. It is called the Pathways Education Program. Each pathway, there are 11 of them, 11 pathways. It's exciting because each pathway can take anywhere from as fast as you want to go to as slow as you want to go. And what it is they are broken down into 5 levels per path. One pathway, for example, is presentation mastery.
So wait
Presentation
a minute.
mastery consists.
So what about like the sixth level? Is there a sixth level going on here?
No, there are only 5 levels of presentation mastery, as
Really?
well as 5 levels on the other 10 pathway levels.
Right.
But why
Right.
are there only 5 levels? Why not more than that? There are many more topics.
Okay, I have to interject for a second, please, as a mentor. Please, Elizabeth is giving her speech as being timed. So it's not a conversation to ask a question or reply. Okay?
When do you ask
Thank you.
questions?
At
When
the
do you
end,
ask questions,
at
Mary?
the end, Cedric is at the end when we run the business, not when the speaker is speaking.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Well, thank you, Mary.
So,
Thank you, Amrita, for the question. That is a great question. And there are only 6 levels and 5 levels in pathways, not 6. And Cedric, you have pointed out many valid questions, but now I believe it's time to help Mary. It's her turn. Mary, on this path that I'm in, presentation mastery, we have a speech, which is how to handle difficult audience members. And before this,
That's right, Elizabeth. This speech is about handling difficult audience members. So I couldn't agree with you more.
thank you so much, Fernando. I appreciate
So
your.
Elizabeth, like, what do you do when you have people, like a difficult audience? Like, is there something that you need to do to like keep everyone in check?
Thank you so much, Charisse, for your question. Yes, during the pathways, there is a video that you watch, and it guides you through different scenarios of people who interrupt a speaker. And it helps that person in the pathways level encounter a selection of interrupters or the silent type, and they guide them through acknowledging it and pushing forward and through it and helping each person in the audience in order for the speaker to handle the disruptions. Thank you, Charisse. Also, I would like to share that we have a new guest that is coming in right now, Mohammed Rashad.
Excuse me. Apologies. Woo.
Hi, Cedric. Thank you so much for all of your input. And I believe that it's now time for Letitia to speak. But thank you so much, Cedric. Letitia, how are you today? You're on mute. Hi.
I'm great. Thank you, Elizabeth. And actually, I'm not the second speaker today, but I am the second evaluator.
Excellent.
And so I will return the control back to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Mohammed, welcome into our group. We are in the middle of a speech right now, but I just wanted to say hello. You're on mute, but we just wanted to say hi. We're discussing pathways in Toastmasters, which is an education program that you go on your own pace, and it is virtual. Each path has 5 levels. I keep saying 6 because Amrita wanted to know why there's 6, and now I'm thinking there's 6. Thank you, Amrita.
You're welcome, Elizabeth.
The pathways helps you with your listening skills, your speaking skills, your leadership skills. Why listening skills? 2 of the projects in a pathway is being an evaluator. The first level and the third level, you must be an evaluator. This helps you listen to another person's speech and give them proper feedback. It enhances not only your listening skills, but it also enhances the way you vocalize and share in a positive but in a critique way of helping another person speak and present to an audience. With the 5 levels and a pathways, 2 of those projects are evaluation. Another project is not only speaking, but it's being a table topics master. That is the middle part of a Toastmasters meeting, which is called the I part. There's 3 parts in a meeting. PIE. P is the prepared speech. I is the impromptu speech, which is part of table topics. It consists of a table topics master, and they call on anywhere from 3 to 5 people, depending on how much time we have, with a question that they hear, and then they have to impromptu answer the question. They have anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question. If they do not want to answer the question as a table topics person that you're called on to speak, you have the option to talk about something else. You do not have to answer that specific question. The goal of the I part of the Toastmasters Club meeting is to properly answer and speak in an impromptu manner, and to do it in a timely manner. You're timed from 1 minute to 2 minutes. 1 minute is green, 2 minutes is yellow, and 3 minutes is red. No, wait, maybe I got that wrong. I believe it's 1 minute is green, 1.5 minutes is yellow, and then 2 minutes is red. And you're qualified if you speak between 1 minute and 2.5 minutes. That is the middle part. The other part of a pathway is being a Toastmaster. A Toastmaster is something that Cedric Cook is this meeting. A Toastmaster runs and hosts the entire meeting. They're introduced at the beginning and they close right before the end of the meeting. And they run the entire club meeting. They make sure the agenda is filled with all the roles and everything runs on time and smoothly. So being part of a pathway consists of speaking as well as listening by being an evaluator, and being a table topics master by asking impromptu questions. And then finally, having multiple different projects to speak on, and it helps you to give proper feedback. Thank you, Toastmaster Cook. It is back to you.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Ruiz. Fabulous job. Fabulous job. All right. So as far as the evaluation component of this speech, what I would like to do is let's go ahead and pick the second speaker, and then towards the end, we'll come back and do the evaluation. Is that okay? Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So our next speaker for today is going to be Toastmaster Amrita Verma. Amrita is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Stewart. So I will let Toastmaster Verma speak on her topic, I was thinking, and then can make the appropriate introduction.
Greetings of the day to all the Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmasters, so much giving me the opportunity to speak. So my topic is I was thinking one day while I was going back to my home from the office, the work pressure that we have because of the husband, the wife, the kids, and the business, and the looming deadlines which we have to meet. I'm sure you can also correlate this thing. But one day a story really inspired me a lot. This story goes on like this. Once upon a time, there was a woodcutter. He was a very strong woodcutter and a very efficient, but he used to live in a village. So a person who was a factory person of a timber merchant, he was a timber merchant. He saw that he is cutting the wood in a very great way. He just prayed him, please come with me to my city. And the old man said, no, 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 I don't think that I can come with you. I'm getting older and older. Let me be here where I am. But somehow he persuaded, the boss persuaded, and took the woodcutter to the city. The woodcutter went with him finally, and he was shown the area and given an axe to cut the wood. The first day, the woodcutter cut down 18 trees. The boss came around, said, congratulations, keep up the good work. Motivated with the work and the boss's speeches, the woodcutter again started cutting the next day with more harder and more strength. But he was unable to cut 18. He only cut 15 wood. Third day, the number still decreased. It was 15. Fourth day, more fewer. Fifth day, to his utmost surprise, he was unable to cut a single piece of wood since morning. He thought that his strength is completely drained off. Disappointed, he went to the boss. He said, I don't think that I'll be capable of doing this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. Can you tell me? Can anyone tell me what was wrong with this woodcutter? Anyone? Okay. So the boss said, when was the last time you have sharpened your axe? Right. The woodcutter said, sharpen? Oh, I just totally forgot. I didn't sharpen my axe. I was so busy doing my task and cutting down the trees. I never ever had thought of sharpening the axe. So now, my dear friends and my fellow Toastmasters, I want to ask you, when was the last time you all sharpened your axes? How do we sharpen our axe? We sharpen our axe by building up a superb personality, by making us better every day. So how do we do that? There are 4 ways to do that. We have to renew our skills. Number 1 is physical, eating, sleeping, and exercising well. Number 2 is social. You have to have good social connections. With good connections, you gain so much of positivity and optimism, which no one has. Spirituality, that is the number 3. We meditate, we just relax in between the nature. So the third one is spirituality. The fourth one is mental capability. How do we increase our mental capability? We increase our mental capability by reading books. Books can be always good mentors to us. So reading books is a very good habit, or writing something, whatever you want. So according to me, good just does not happen to us. We have to take out time. We have to devote some time to create ourselves, to rebuild ourselves, and to give us time to make changes in our life. So please start sharpening your axes every day. Thank you so much.
Right. Great job, Amrita. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. At this point in the agenda, let's just kind of calibrate. Now we'll ask Madam President Toastmaster Ruiz a couple of questions here. Should we just continue on with the general evaluations in lieu of having table topics?
We can have a couple of them.
Okay. Do I have anyone that's willing to volunteer to be the table topics master?
I can volunteer.
Okay.
Thank you, Amrita.
Amrita. All right. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So at this time, Amrita, as the table topic master, calls upon several members to deliver a 1 to 2 minute impromptu talk on a topic that she's going to describe for you. And at this point, Amrita is going to go ahead and take over from this point. Thank you.
Okay. So maybe Dustin? Are you ready to speak? Should I tell you the topic?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the topic is the current scenario of the world, coronavirus, how people are facing it and what exactly you think to, to establish mental balance, how we should react to this current scenario, which has just, brought down everything all across the world.
If I could just interject for one moment and ask you guys, do we have a word of the day?
No.
Okay, so
No,
as you
no,
being the table topic
Toastmaster, no.
master, or the grammarian, Mary, can you give us a word of the day?
Based on what happened earlier with the meeting, and I'm gonna sound like funny. I didn't mean to, but is pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention is the word of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So would you like me to discuss coronavirus now? Okay. Well, coronavirus has definitely affected all of our lives in a dramatic way. For myself, I had just moved to Houston 2 weeks prior to coronavirus, so it affected not only my job prospects, but also my living situation pretty dramatically. And I think everyone's been feeling a mental as well as a physical kind of effect, not being able to go outside, not being able to interact with strangers, and being able to speak and be social and do all of those things that we take for granted. It's a huge strain on mentally as well as physically, and I think it allows us to recalibrate what's important in our lives. So for me, it's valuing, my family, time with my family. My parents are both at risk and high risk. They're in the high risk category. They're both above the age of 65. My dad has diabetes, so I try and be as careful as possible when I interact with them, and taking technology into the next step, such as FaceTiming them as much as possible, FaceTiming my grandmother, taking those relationships not for granted, but really trying my best to value them in the present and not putting them to the side. It allows me to kind of figure out what is important. And I was able to get a job during coronavirus. I put my head down, focused, realized what the world was looking for, what kind of characteristics and values the job market was looking for, and tried to, just make myself as marketable as possible.
Good.
Great job, Dustin. And looks like you made timely here. Sharice is our timer, and she's showing you yellow and green respectively, so you can know what your time mark is. So thank you very much for your speech.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Leticia, if you become a president, what would you do?
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and any guests as well. And I believe we have a mentor, lots of wonderful Toastmasters today. And the question is, if I become president, what would I do? Well, an ongoing issue of mine is our national debt. We're in the trillions, and I'm puzzled. I don't really know how it's done. I mean, if I'm in debt, I don't spend money. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. It's magic. I mean, I know money doesn't grow on trees, and so seriously, I don't understand how we are able to share money we don't have. And so that's would be my biggest thing to work on, I think, is the debt, because of the amount of debt that we've been in. even before coronavirus, I'd been saying that we were going to go straight into depression is the way I felt. And this was 7 years ago, or just because I like following the trends in history. And I just felt between the different industries that we have here in the United States that we were, we were economically, we're just not going to do well. And so you add any other type of crisis to that, I mean, we're doomed. So I think as president, that would be my biggest concern, is to work on our national debt and to decide how to reduce that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Turn control back to the table topic master.
Thank you so much. Okay, Nishan, can I ask you something? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So your table topic would be the best cherishable moment of your life from childhood.
Oh, wow. So ooh, you
It's
said
okay. Take your time. Take your
said
time. Take a deep breath. Right.
okay, you said the best charitable moment from my childhood. This is difficult. I would have to say my best charitable moment from my childhood would be the time I got my first bike. It was it wasn't a custom for people in the community to actually have bikes. We pretty much walked everywhere. So one day for my 4th birthday, my mother surprised me with a bike, and I was pretty much elated because it kind of made me feel like I was a cut above the rest, if you will. I know that doesn't necessarily sound too good, but it definitely set the tone for that year, because I was able to bike everywhere else. If people wanted to ride my bike, and I really felt like I really felt special. So that is probably the most charitable moment in my childhood.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nishan. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, table topic master Amrita. And thank you to the guests who stepped up to speak. I really appreciate it. And this is where it really comes down to it, right? This is a very good moment for all of us. So at this moment, what we'd like to do is go ahead and proceed through the agenda. We want to introduce our general evaluator for today.
Cedric, I need to interrupt real quick.
Yes.
If anyone here has an access to the chat, can you send Mary Craney, the grammarian, your vote for best speaker and best table topic master? And their names are in the screen, the bottom left-hand corner. Please send your vote to Mary Craney individually in a private chat, the best table topic speaker and best speaker. Thank you, Cedric.
Thank you, Madam President. Okay, so in the next part of our agenda,
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you, Cedric.
Okay, no problem.
Let me interrupt you for just one moment. We're going to take 1 minute, and we're going to let everybody respond to Mary with their vote. Okay.
Thank you.
And the
Thank
time
you,
starts
Toastmaster
now.
Miller. Thank you. And Toastmaster Ruiz, if I may, if I could get the ability to screen share again, please.
Are you able to screen share right now?
It's saying that I'm disabled.
Okay, we're running out of time.
Okay,
That's 1 minute.
all right.
Do you need
Thank
to
you,
screen share?
Toastmaster Norris.
What do you need to screen share?
I'm sharing the screen that has the agenda.
Oh, okay. I can share the agenda.
Oh, thank you,
Okay.
Toastmaster Ruiz. Okay, so the next segment of our agenda is going to go down to the evaluations component. And our general evaluator for today is
That'd be me.
Toastmaster Norris. Thank you.
My role, I'm sorry, because this is the evaluation portion of the meeting. This portion of the meeting is where we get immediate feedback on our performance today. I'm the timer, so I have the timing rules for the evaluations. Now we will hear speech evaluations for today's prepared speeches. Then I will give my general evaluation of the overall meeting. Our first evaluator, have to get.
That would be myself.
Yes, that would be Cedric, the first evaluator, evaluating speaker 1, Elizabeth's speech. Please help me welcome Cedric.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Norris. And Toastmaster Ruiz, thank you so much. In one vein, I feel kind of bad because we had distractions. In another vein, I felt like, oh my God, he is just killing this speech. So with that said, I think, I know adamantly that you did a very awesome job in delivering your message during this presentation. You adhered to the timing parameters. You stayed on course when there were distractions. You addressed the audience. You even used some verbal, some hand gestures to really emphasize that the number was 5. So I saw you. Now, relative to some of the other areas, like using voice inflection to maybe allow individuals to understand your point of view or emphasize your point of view, that was an area that I felt that you could have been a little bit more verbose in delivering your message, especially when someone starts to cough. So thank you again. And as far as your approach and getting to the end point, you did ad lib a bit, and it was a little bit noticeable. But at the same time, I felt like you were aware, and that's the one of the earmarks of a great speech delivery. So again, I will write your evaluation up after transcribing it into a typed format and deliver that back to you. So thank you again for your speech, and job well done.
Thank you, Cedric.
Back to you, Toastmaster Norris.
Thank you. Our next evaluator is Letitia. Over to you, Letitia.
Okay. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially Amrita. I thought you did a wonderful job for your icebreaker speech. I'd like to begin by telling everyone the purpose of your speech, and the purpose is for you to introduce yourself and learn to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. I felt that you definitely met your goals on the structure of the speech, as well as to begin speaking before the audience. As a matter of fact, I would have thought you were were a very advanced speaker in Toastmasters, but I feel that you may have spoken as a speaker in other roles of your life, because you excelled in speaking very clearly with confidence. You had a great smile, You were very positive. You also portrayed an advanced speaking technique in that you introduced a fable of the woodcutter. Again, I felt that you excelled as far as your speaking skills went. You also did tell us about yourself in the manner that you gave us the importance of renewing our skills every day. And it was clear that this is something that you do. And you gave the points that were the skills that you felt needed to be renewed: your physical, social, spiritual, and mental capability. I also felt that you had a very strong ending, Marita. You ended by challenging us. And that's always a good closing, for us to take time to sharpen our axe/skills. As far as some things to improve on and to challenge yourself is, I would have liked to hear maybe a little bit about your career. Like I said, you're introducing yourself to the club, from my understanding, as well as maybe a little bit of your background if you've lived in Houston. But again, you had very advanced speaking skills, did not rely on your notes from what I could see. And I thoroughly enjoyed the fable as well as the skills that you introduced to us. So look forward to many more speeches of yours, Amrita. Thank you. Turn back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Letitia.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, please take this time to send Mary a message for your favorite speech about evaluator. And I will proceed with the timer's report from the timer. Hello, timer. Can you give us the report? Yes, general evaluator. I'll give it to you now. Thank you. The timing report for the evaluators: Cedric was 1 minute and 5, and Letitia was 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Thank you, timer. You're welcome, general evaluator. The ah counter tracks the use of verbal pauses, those ahs and ums that come out of our mouths while we think for the next thing to say. These pauses detract from our message. Please welcome our ah counter. I don't know who that is.
That'd be Toastmaster Perez.
That'd be Fernando.
Actually, the aha counter, the grammarian, I thought was me, Cedric. Did I make a mistake?
Well, you were the grammarian, Mary.
Okay.
We had already pre-assigned Fernando as the counter.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Norris. The following report for Cedric, the Toastmaster, he had 5 ahs and 5 ums. For Charisse, the timer, had 1 and. For speaker number 1, Elizabeth had 1 and, 1 but, and 1 double clutch YY. For Amarita, she had 3 so's. For table topics, speaker number 1, Dustin, he had 3 uhs and 3 ahs and 3 you knows. For table topics, speaker number 2, Letitia, she had 2 ands, 1 double clutch how, 3 ums, and 2 I means. For table topic speaker number 3, Naishang, he had 4 ahs. For evaluator number 1, Cedric had 4 ums. Evaluator number 2, Letitia, had 1 so and 1 ah. Back to you, Toastmaster Norris.
Okay, thank you, Fernando. Next, we'll hear from the grammarian who's been listening for the good uses of language, points for improvement in tracking our word of the day. Please help me welcome Mary.
Thank you, Charisse. I appreciate that. The second part of the meeting, when finally the word of the day was introduced, I don't think I've heard anybody saying that word today, paying attention. So I guess we need to pay attention more, including myself. Regarding the usage of the English language, everybody has very well command of the usage of the English language. I would like to point out that our guest, Nishan, even though usually table topic is not the easiest. That's why we get to learn when we participate at Toastmaster meetings. When we're asked, during the day, we always speak on our feet because we don't think about it. We say it face to face and we just talk. During meetings, the table topic is that you make up, so even though they ask the questions, but you can take that question and you run with it. And you did a fantastic job with the English language. I like the way you put the word. I like the way you spoke. And I commend you for that. And thank you so much for coming and joining us today. And everybody did a great job, including the interruptions.
Dr. Mary, you were about to split everybody's head. She was like, give her a chance to speak.
Yeah.
I give it back to you, Madam General Evaluator, and thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Now I have a few comments on the meeting as a whole. We started just a few minutes late. I would like to say thank you, Cedric. You did a very good job at your first time as a who are you? I'm sorry.
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster. I was going to say table topic master, but thank you so much. You did a wonderful job. If I could just say that in the beginning, when just give everyone a chance when you go around to say what their role is, and you want to let them repeat what the role is. If anybody doesn't know what their role is, you can go to our Greenway Plaza Toastmasters website, and then there's a section at the top that you can click that says roles, and then you just download that and you just read it verbatim when it's your turn, so you'll know exactly what your role is. Other than that, everything was explained pretty good. I do think that I was the timer as well as the general evaluator, so asking myself, I did not let everybody know what their times were, but everybody qualified from my notes that I've taken, just in case I didn't explain that earlier. Everything else was great. You guys did a great job, and no one paid attention to that word. No one paid attention, but it's okay. We got another week to do this. So other than that, I'm just gonna wrap this up. Everything was great, and let's go back to our Toastmaster of the day, Cedric. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sharice, and everyone that's taking on the roles. As far as the next portion of this, the awards component of this is really just to recognize those folks for their presentation skills and technique. So Mary, do you have a winner as far as the table topics is concerned?
Yes, Toastmaster Cedric. For table topic, we have Dustin. And for best speaker, we have Elizabeth.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to both of you all. I think you heard the sentiments during the evaluation component of this. So we really appreciate you all stepping up to take time to deliver your speeches. And at this moment in the agenda, I'd like to really turn it over to our club president, that's Toastmaster Ruiz. Thank you.
Thank you, Cedric. I would like to spend a few minutes at the closing part here by inducting our newest member, Letitia Stewart. And I'm going to ask briefly a quick question, and our members will just answer. And I'm going to start now. fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct Letitia Stewart, Toastmaster Stewart, into the Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion both for the new member and for our club. Letitia has come to Toastmasters seeking to improve her communication and leadership, and we now have an opportunity to help her learn, grow, and achieve. I will now call our new member forward, Letitia Stewart, and ask her to join me. Please withhold your applause until the ceremony is completed. Letitia, you're joining a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people learn to communicate more effectively. As a member of the Greenway Plaza Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Toastmasters, mentor, officers, and guests, will you help me welcome our newest member, Toastmaster Letitia Stewart?
Thank you.
You can say, I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will. I will.
Welcome, Toastmaster Stewart, to Greenway Plaza Toastmasters.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yay.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, without further ado, I wanted to end with a brief statement. I'm going to say 2 blanks, and I want to go around and ask a few people what they would fill in the blank with. I feel blank and blank. Fernando?
Appreciated and valued.
Thank you. Cedric?
Humbled and encouraged.
Amrita?
Awesome. Top of the world.
Dustin? I feel blank and blank.
Excited and encouraged.
Letitia?
I feel grateful and happy.
Charisse?
I feel exhausted but hopeful.
Mary?
Great and looking forward to pay attention more.
Thank you, everyone. And I feel grateful and appreciated. Thank you. I also would like to ask, do we have any birthdays for the month of June? Please raise your hand. Cedric, are you raising your hand? Oh, it's a slow wave. Can we say happy birthday to Cedric real quick on a 1, 2, 3? Happy
Happy
birthday
Birthday to you.
Thank
Happy
you.
Birthday to you.
you.
Happy
Happy
Happy birthday to
Birthday,
Cedric.
Happy
Cedric.
Happy
birthday
birthday to
Birthday to
you.
you.
All right, yay, Cedric. I would also ask for our comments from our guest. Dustin, we would like for you to unmute and share brief comments on what you thought of the meeting.
I got a lot from it. I'm still learning and trying to adjust to or understand a lot of the processes and the protocol that y'all go through. But it seems very you seem to have learned a lot, and I really do like the sense of community y'all built. So I'm really looking forward to coming next week.
Thank you for being here. We look forward to having you back. Thank you.
That happy birthday summoned all my kids. The kids, the dog, everyone's here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like.
I do need to leave.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Letitia. Mary is our mentor, and she wanted to say a brief statement. Mary, go ahead.
I do. Thank you, Elizabeth. First, congratulations to Letitia. Welcome to the club, and you're making an excellent decision by joining this fantastic one. Regarding the meeting today, I joined this morning about maybe 2 minutes at 12:02. So I didn't, what I saw is Elizabeth trying to find her way around with the finding a person, and then Cedric speaking. and I had no idea who is the Toastmaster and who is the other role is. So when it came to the speech, however, I said, okay, this is like where this is going. So, and that is very important, is that to join in ahead of time, looking at the agenda and being prepared is very, very important to get the most out of the meeting, to learn and to develop, and look forward to the speeches and understand exactly the dynamic. Every club is different. Not necessarily they all have to be the same. However, we all have a structure and we go with it. So, and I want to say congratulations to Cedric. He did a fantastic job with the meeting. I appreciate that. Thank you. I look forward to see you all again next week.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, before I adjourn the meeting, officers, do you have anything you'd like to announce?
Madam President, just one thing. I'd just like to say thank you all for bearing with me today. This was a lot. But I do, as I said earlier, feel encouraged. So.
Sharice or Fernando, anything?
I just wanted to say to Cedric, great job. A way to hang in there and take multiple roles.
Sharice, anything?
Same. I'm gonna piggyback him. Cedric, you did so great. You really took the initiative and you made it your own.
Yes. And Rita, it's wonderful to see you. And Dustin, thank you so much for being here. Mary, thank you for being our mentor. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Without further ado, this meeting is adjourned. We will see you next Thursday.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a great week. Rest
You
of it.
too.